Welcome back to Stranded Survivors, folks. My name is Matt, and I am one of your co-hosts.
My name is Jericho. I'm also a host of the podcast. The podcast is all about Ark. Make sure you guys keep on listening if you love all things Ark. Matt, how are you doing?
Man, doing good. Things are quieting down. Like I had said last week, I completed one of my summer classes, so huge load off of my shoulders, and I have actually been able to enjoy my nights again. So finally playing some Xbox and immediately burned myself out on Ark because I went really, really hard for like a week, and then now my soul hurts every time I turn it on. So I am in that awkward little lull right now of extreme burnout. So I'm just sort of riding the wave, and I'm going to fan the flames in a little bit here, and I'll be able to start up. I just need a couple days. How about you, man?
Since last week, went to go see my aunt and uncle. Had a year issue my car. It wasn't like a valve or something. I don't know. Never really messed with that stuff. And other than that, man,
it's so annoying. Then you just can't keep air in it forever.
No, it's just, I don't know. Other than that, honestly, it's been pretty chill in general. Just working.
Hey, that's good, man. Sometimes no news is good news.
It's true.
All right, folks. Well, this week it is, in America, 4th of July, Independence Day, so there's a lot of festivities going around, all around the good old US of A here, so we are going to keep it relatively short and sweet because, we got stuff to take care of, so that way we can enjoy the fireworks. Those of you that are not American, Independence Day is a great excuse for Americans to eat hot dogs and hamburgers and drink beer and shoot off explosives that make pretty colors in the sky. Ooh-sa, ooh-sa, ooh-sa. So, yeah, we're going to keep it short and sweet today. But we are going to stick to schedule. So I want to start us off here with the Dino Dossier. And this week, Jericho has chosen one of the most ferocious creatures in the Ark. It is one of the most difficult to tame, and hardly anybody that I know has ever had one. So we are going to dive into the dossier of the dodo bird. Yeah, you heard me right. I didn't stutter. So, Raphis replicare. I don't know. It's Latin. It's probably replicare. Raphis replicare from the late Holocene era. It was an herbivore, and its temperament is oblivious. Anybody who's ever played Ark knows exactly what that means. Raphis replicare, that's fun to say, sorry. More commonly known as the dodo bird, is quite possibly the dumbest creature I've ever seen in my life. It wanders around the beaches of the island, pecking berries off bushes and being eaten by all manner of carnivore. Without the dodo, the whole island's food chain would disintegrate. The subspecies of dodo has developed an unreliably clever way to sustain itself. They mate constantly. I'm fairly convinced that they reach full maturity within a week of being born. This is the only trait keeping them populous on the island. Domesticated? While it can be done, there is almost no reason to domesticate a Raphis replicare. It cannot carry enough to be a beast of burden, it does not provide much food, and it's too stupid to show companionship. It could work as a last-ditch food source, though, so I suppose keeping them around for lean times has a certain logic. Love, Helena. Now, first off, Helena, you're mean. Leave the dodos alone. There is another quote here on this dossier from someone by the name of Jeremy. Not sure who Jeremy is, but yeah, come on now. Not sure who Jeremy is, but Jeremy's an absolute legend because the quote says, "Dodo tossing, sport of champions." Jeremy, you have just created a new event. We definitely have to do a dodo tossing event.
Jeremy actually is like one of the publishers, slash higher ups at Wildcard. He actually is heads. Let me see. So his thing on X is co-showrunner of Ark the Animated Series and lead designer / programmer, co-creative director of Ark Survival Evolved, co-founder of Studio Wildcard.
Wow. Okay. See, that's why he gets paid the big bucks.
That's right.
All right. Well, you heard it here, folks. Jeremy wants us to throw dodos, so we're definitely going to have to organize it. Man, we got so many events that we got to get going. There's like 5 of them now that we've talked about that would be extra fun, and we just need to pull the trigger and start doing them back to back to back. Boom.
Yeah, we really got to.
Well, let's we talked about it a little bit, but definitely let's start the conversation in the admin chat. And this week, I would like to announce our first event. So probably won't happen this coming weekend, but I would say the second week of July. Keep your ears peeled for a potential event on the unofficial server.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of these events are going to be very exciting. So make sure you guys are, on the lookout for that. And then also make sure you guys are on the lookout for, some of our new news that we're going to announce here later in the episode. Be a pretty cool thing happening. So make sure you guys stay.
Oh, yeah. Stay tuned, folks. Well, man, that's all I got about dodos. I could go on and on about how mean Helena is, but moving on from dodos, without further ado, what's next, Jericho?
So next, I feel like, something that we really need to talk about that was brought up in the Unity Crunch was that, Aberration, good old dark map here with the good old monkeys when you go to the surface, it's actually going to be delayed a little bit. It is now going to release September 4th.
Man, so first off, not surprised. Second off, I am okay with it because, they just released the center, and I feel like when people are not burnt out, you got a good month or 2 on the map before you lose interest in it, before you do all the things. And especially with our unofficial server transfers not being the most reliable or effective right now, that people are starting over on the center. So, I feel like we've got a couple months. That's okay. I'd much rather them polish it and make it as pretty as they did with the center because, they pushed that back and delayed it, and I'm really glad they did because they did a good job with it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too, is I really think they did a great job with the center. So, a lot of people are frustrated, mesh hole, different things like that. But overall, the center honestly looks really cool, and I'm actually excited. Like, Aberration is a good-looking map, super annoying map to me. But, I'm really looking forward to what Aberration is going to bring. It's going to bring Reapers, and I love getting impregnated by a Reaper.
Man, out of context, super weird sentence, but definitely, I have never been impregnated by a Reaper, and I kind of would like to experience it because I feel like it's going to be pure unbridled chaos, and, the Alien movies are pretty sweet, so I'm kind of okay with having a face hugger in my belly.
Yeah, I think you'll really enjoy it, Matt.
Yeah, man, there's all sorts of stuff. This isn't necessarily an Aberration episode. It could be. It's going to be now, I guess, but there's all sorts of new stuff that get added in there, and I think it's pretty cool. Like, yeah, you have a little bit of issues. Like, if I remember correctly, oil, I want to say, was super hard to get, but maybe that's just because I'm trash at the game. I guess it says here you can get them from Seeker Drop, so I guess it's not too. Yeah, I guess I'm just trash. Never mind. Ignore me. So, it says, like other maps, supply crates only spawn on the surface outside of the artifact caves in the form of loot crates. So, that's kind of sketchy because the surface is not really a place you want to be on that map.
You don't want to be oh man, that thing is scary, hard to live in. Yeah, that's where you get like a lot of the good hard to actually go.
Yeah. Speaking of new resources, they've got additional resources added into Aberration that are not in the other maps. So now you're going to start seeing gems. They got green gems, blue gems, red gems. They scale, notice the correlation there to the colors of the obelisks. And they scale, green being the easiest to find, blue being a little bit tougher, and red being the more difficult ones. So those are going to be different items and ingredients that you're going to need to craft the new tools, the new stuff that we're going to talk about here in a second. There's also fungal wood. It's kind of like regular wood, but more fungally? I don't know. Jericho, can you describe fungal wood for me?
Really just wood, but called fungal, right? Really it.
Yeah, I mean, they just got to figure out a way. Because, I mean, let's be real. If they had a whole bunch of trees underground, people like me would be like, blah, 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 there's no sun, photosynthesis, blah, 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 chlorophyll. So, like, I appreciate the fact that they, it's kind of like the space answer. When we did our D&D podcast, anytime anything didn't make sense, the answer was automatically, wherever we were, space. So, space Australia, that's why. Because space Finland, why not? So, because space wood, I guess. I don't know, fungal wood. And speaking of fungal wood, you are going to find a whole lot of mushrooms everywhere instead of berries. So, aquatic mushrooms, agaric mushrooms. There's all sorts of different ones, and color-wise, they sort of correlate to the berries. So, the white ones are going to be a little funky. There's one of them, I want to say it's the red ones. I'm trying to read through here. I'm trying to multitask, read the wiki here and answer it at the same time. Oh yeah, here we go, right here. So avoid the blue or the red mushrooms because they're harvestable, sure, but the blue ones give you instant hypothermia. So we got some frost mushrooms over here, and the red ones make you trip. All right, it's gonna have pretty sweet hallucinations. In the hallucinations, I would just like to credit those real quick because we're not talking hallucinations like, some 1960s movie. We're talking hallucinations to the point where your person is tripping so bad that they literally start drowning and they're taking damage because they're convinced that they're drowning even though they're walking around on dry land. Mm-hmm. So definitely stay away from the red ones. It'll give you all sorts of color vision, crazy stuff.
To be honest with you, I remember eating them for the first time ever. You're sitting there like, dude, did I just get knocked out? What happened?
Why are my hands doing this? There are, aquatic mushrooms. It says gives you temporary immunity to the freezing debuff, or luminous poisons, which I'm assuming are the, glowy ones. And then eating the agaric mushrooms gives you temporary immunity to the hallucinating debuff, or fertile poisons. So I guess keep in mind if you're going after the red berries, you're going to need some of the, I don't know what color that is, but it kind of looks like an oyster mushroom. You got to bring you some oyster mushrooms, aka agaric mushrooms. Earthquakes. We got to talk about earthquakes, Jericho. So when you're on Aberration, there are going to be all sorts of earthquakes, and it's literally exactly what it sounds like. The entire screen will start to shake, and they get pretty violent at times. And then random stuff just starts falling from the ceiling. So you're going to get wood, flint, rare mushrooms, stone, all sorts of those gems we talked about earlier, some obsidian and crystal. On official, that can be tough to collect, too much because you're going to get real heavy real quick, but it's pretty solid. It says here that they also randomly move sleeping survivors that are not anchored to their beds and can cause survivors using a zip line or climbing pick to fall. I didn't know that.
Really? You didn't know that at all?
No, I've never, Aberration is always, like you said, a very frustrating map, and I never made it very far, so I knew that the zip lines existed, but I never actually made one myself. Other people made them, and I just wasn't smart enough to pull it off, so I never even bothered. Just figured I might as well fly everywhere. Why use a zip line?
Oh, that's a cool little new tip,
Yeah, new tip. You learn something new every day. Fun fact of the day. There are new creatures that come with Aberration. Two main new ones are the Nameless and the Reaper, which the Reaper we talked about earlier, that's kind of so those of you that aren't familiar with it, a Reaper is okay, for a baseline here, picture a Giga. And then that Giga had a baby with a Tarrasque. Now, for those of you that are non-D&D nerds, a Tarrasque is, kind of like Godzilla, but covered in angry spikes. So it's like an extra spiky, big ol' Giga that spins around, does tail whips and stuff like that, and then puts a face hugger on you to impregnate you, and that's the only way you can get one, is to have the face hugger burst out of your chest and then have somebody claim it, correct?
I think so, if I remember right.
That's wild. That's wild to me.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. I just think that, how did that even become a thing? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. Somebody's like, hey, what if we took a Reaper and made it part ninja and then covered it in swords? Yeah, that's what you got there. So The nameless, though, can you give a description of the nameless for me?
Man, so these nameless are like pretty much like little monkey things, right? And they have these like demon eyes, like orange reddish eyes, and they come from the underground. And there's like, I'm not even kidding you, like 1,000 of them come and all just start attacking any of your dinos, unless you have a bulb dog or like a light feather light, like a light that can scare them away because they're scared by light. You're normally in a darker place when you find them, and I think they're just like little ferocious monkey things that are like little devils.
Jericho, I know you didn't just refer to a chupacabra as a monkey thing.
Man, I don't know. I call them monkey things.
I call them monkey things. Okay, well, yeah, those little monkey chupacabra thingies, whatever. I mean, okay, I can give you that. It looks like a Pegamastix and a Mesopithecus had a baby. I'll give you that. Oh, jeez. What a devil spawn. All right. Oh, yeah, you mentioned the charge light creatures. So a feather light is kind of like a phoenix or like a peacock, if you will, that sits on your shoulder, and it's got all these like crazy bioluminescent lights, and it lights up pretty bright. Lots of pretty colors, cool combinations. Absolutely love feather lights. Bulb dogs, those are like, man, Jericho, is it an accurate description to say that it's like a literal bulldog that had a baby with a fish?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. But its tail lights up. That's pretty nifty. The glowtail is another creature that lights up, and that I don't know how to describe that. It's like a
Yeah, I don't think lizard.
yeah, it's like a large salamander with wings and a long tail, and like at the end of the tail, instead of what you would expect like a stingray stinger to be, it's got a flashlight. And then I feel like I'm not even gonna say America's sweetheart. I'm gonna say the world's sweetheart, because I don't know anybody that doesn't love a Shinehorn. Yeah, they are absolutely adorable. They're like the size of a little, like, I don't know, what are those, like a miniature goat. They are maybe like, they look like maybe 5 pounds soaking wet, and they've got little lights on the end of their little nubbin antlers. There's not antlers. What do goats have? Horns? Yeah, stupid. It's a Shinehorn, not a shine antler. Used to be known as the lantern goat. Fun fact. I like the name Shinehorn better than lantern goat. Actually, I don't know. I kind of like lantern goat.
Either one.
Yeah, either one. That's a win-win. So those are the creatures that are going to produce light. They can store the light, and then you can like turn them on and off, or you can put it on your shoulder. And the way that I normally do it is they have a charge light setting where it charges itself up, and then it gives off bursts of light every now and then when it gets max charge. So that way you sort of always have a nice little constant light to keep you safe, especially if you're in a spooky area. Yep, but yeah, man, I could ramble about Aberration all day. Like I said, this isn't an Aberration episode. At least it wasn't supposed to be, but I kind of turned it into one. So the TLDR, you got earthquakes, lots of temperatures on the surface. Don't go up there, otherwise you're going to get vaporized by the sun. There are seasons that affect the length of the daytime and the nighttime. There are dangerous elemental liquid in the depths of the Aberration. Fun fact, what's his name? Rockwell was not onto something by playing with the liquid element. Poisonous mushrooms and mushroom spore zones. It's got crazy radiation zones that'll make you sick and kill you. There are plants that can be turned into organic polymer, so no more penguins. There are black clams that can be harvested for black pearls, and Rockwell's voices in the ancient device in the Drake Trench is made by corrupted creatures in the spine. Fun fact. Yeah.
I know that, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't either. So there's a whole bunch of more stuff. That's not even half the wiki. So if you're super curious, dive through the wiki. Otherwise, we'll probably cover it eventually in an episode, but probably not until closer to September.
Yeah, definitely. We will cover that in an episode later on. And kind of go through, things that we love about Aberration, some of the unique features maybe that we didn't mention.
Yeah, for sure. So, Jericho, you got to stop me here. I'm going to keep rambling, man. What do you have for us next?
So, kind of next, Option one is we can let everyone know the big news, or well, potential big news, or things we're working on, or we can do our Ark story time.
Ooh, let's give him some news first, and then we'll go into some story time. Let's do a break from the long ramble. I feel like I talk too much.
Okay, so do you want to tell them, or do you want me to tell them? Kind of our
I'm
idea.
definitely gonna give you the honors. Like I said, I talk too much.
Well, I don't think you talk too much. I think, but so some news that we were talking about here that we actually Matt and I were talking the other day, and we're thinking about changing our logo, changing the Stranded Survivors logo. We don't necessarily know what that's going to entail, but we would honestly love your guys' feedback on, should we actually change the logo, and what should we change it to. We would actually love for maybe like Matt and I were talking about like some fan submissions on like potential ideas and what it would look like for our logo, because I think that would personally just be awesome. One, to get the community involvement. Two, to maybe, I don't know if you want to call it, make it pop out more or something like that. I don't know. That's kind of something that Matt and I are excited for. So let us know what you guys think. Matt, do you got anything on that topic?
Man, just to touch on what you said a little bit, I think that it would be really cool if we had any graphic designers that are in the Discord and you wanted to tackle on an additional project. It would be super, super awesome for us to get into contact with you, see what that would be like, because, obviously we would like to do it in-house before we have to outsource, but if there are no graphic designers or if nobody wants to tackle on the project, which is totally fine, then we'll probably end up, sourcing it out and hiring a graphic designer or something like that. So any suggestions you guys have, we are welcome to hear it. So please post it in the probably feedback section of the Discord.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good.
Yeah, so that would be pretty cool. It'd be really nice to see if somebody had some skills that pay the bills to pull out some random homemade stuff for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So, Matt, next up, we got our good old Ark story time. But before we do that, I did just want to say, make sure if you guys haven't, make sure you guys go join our Discord. We're actually at almost 120 members. Matt, we're what? We're going to be on the 7th month here today, actually, while we're recording this anyways. And we're already, at 120, and you were asking for 200, and you thought that was pretty realistic. And we're pretty much 80 away here. I'm very excited.
Yeah, me too, man. That's about 20 a month or so, and I feel like that's an extremely doable number. So if you have not told your friends and your tribe mates about us yet, please do. Anytime anybody mentions this goofy little dinosaur game that we all love, please mention us and give us 5-star rating to help us pop to the top of the algorithm so we go to as many home screens as possible.
Like Matt said, make sure you guys share the Discord, YouTube, whatever you guys want to share on X, because I'm telling you, make sure you guys are in the wild card social people. We're going to get on the community crunch. We're going to hit both of our big goals this year of the community crunch and 200 Discord members. We're going to do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. We're going to make it.
Yeah, we definitely got to figure it out because I am really looking forward to it. I think we're getting to the point where we are, making waves enough that I think it's a possibility. It's no longer a dream and it's now an attainable goal. So I'm excited for the future and to see where it's going to go.
Yeah, me too. So other than that, Matt, what is your Ark Tale by Drew? Sponsored by Drew or made by Drew. What is your Ark Tale?
Man, this week I don't have a good Ark Tale that, is some crazy, hilarious story. I just got into, like I said, I've been struggling with Ark burnout, and that's a real thing. We did an episode on it once, but I arguably feel like we need to do another episode on it because it's such a big thing. But due to the fact that I'm struggling with that burnout, I have just been flying around and enjoying the ambiance of the center. I've been enjoying all the beauty and all the things that they did, and more just sightseeing than anything. So I guess for the first time in a long time, I played Ark as if I was a tourist fresh on the center map, and it was kind of nice to see things through that lens. So more of a nostalgic fly around, look at the map, and gripe like an old man about they ruined Skull Island. They took out the glowing lava. Now it doesn't look like some evil Batman cave, and But really, TLDR, I've just been enjoying the beautiful sights. It's a well-designed map, and I really like the looks of it. So, soaking it up, man. How about you?
Yeah, I also really have not been playing Ark. I've been on the little Call of Duty Warzone grind with all the boys. I would say that if anything, my Ark Tales just kind of like my highlight, I guess. No, actually, it's not a highlight. It's a low light. Okay. My low light is it was like actually a long time ago, kind of when the center semi first came out. So there's Lava Island, and there's a cave in Lava Island. Did you know that?
Yeah. I haven't explored it yet, but actually, no, I lied. I have explored. There's two of them, I think, and I think I've explored both of them.
Yep, there is technically two. That is correct. But not the Silica Pearl one, the one that has like a huge drop down.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that was, I think, the one that I was talking about last week where we got stuck and I was grappling Joe Daddy's face.
Yep. So something that kind of made me think of that is, and I tried to go down there, and server that I was playing, I ended up actually like going there, lagging out, right? So I re-logged in, instantly lagged out, black screened 10 times.
What?
And I couldn't get back in the game because it would not let me in the game. And it literally just kept black screening me, like bringing me back to my homepage on the Xbox. I ended up having to create a new character.
What do you think it was? Do you think somebody like macro spam built something in there that as soon as it like like, you know how Joe Daddy knows how to do that foundation trick where he can make a foundation have like a strength of 750,000, like stupid offensive crap like that, but it's also a macro spam build, so maybe somebody did that, and by the time all 1,000 pieces rendered in, it was just RIP.
I don't even know, man, honestly. I mean, it really was like so brand new that nobody should have even been able to build in there.
And I mean, even still, you would think that if that was the effect of it, it would have lagged them out when they were building it, so you would think that it would have been something that couldn't be done. That's weird. I wonder if there's a break in the code there that as soon as it loads, like, it crashes the game when it finds the break in the code. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's really weird. But that's like my little Ark tale.
Well, hey, that's a way better one than I had, so thanks for sharing, man. Well, all right, dude. What? We're motoring through this bad boy. What do we have left? We on the questions in the poll already?
Yeah, so honestly, we got the questions, the poll, and the shout out to our Patreon member.
Patreon.
So which one do you want to do first?
Let's do the patrons. They're the most important.
Yeah, we love our good old Patreon. Okay, first off, we got Hop, been supporting us, Helena's Angels, and has been killing it. He's been, ever since we made one, been helping us out. We got Gabriel, Helena's Angels, also been here since we've been helping out, or since we started, and just helping us out. Gabriel and Hop, we appreciate you guys so much. And then we got Drew, also at the Helena's Angels. He's still been here for a while too. Not as long as Gabriel and Hop, but he's very close. And
right on their heels.
I really just, those are the three Helena's Angels. And we got Dad of Twins, we got at the Dung Beetles tier, and we got Ariane at the Beach Bobs tier. You guys truly, as we say every week, we really appreciate you. And, you know, among all the fans, we just couldn't do it all without you guys. We love talking to you guys, love building the guys. Thank you guys for support.
Y'all are the best. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. We appreciate it.
All right, man. I could talk about how awesome they are all day too. But due to the festivities, I'm going to continue pushing. What's next?
Yeah, so next, actually, we need to go straight into our question here. So,
Booyah.
Our question, well, first, before we even go into the question, though, sadly, I'm going to say that I jinxed us, and I apologize ahead of time. I was like, hey, guys, we're almost halfway to my goal, like getting close to halfway to my goal. And there was not one more vote in the poll after that.
You're just the worst, Jericho. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, I don't know. And the same thing happened at least when I asked people to, make sure they answered the question this week, like a couple people did answer the question that day, and then nobody else after.
Oh no.
It was just like absolutely kind of bad.
Hey, you know what? That just means that our loyal fans were so loyal that they got there right away, and we were all on top of it, and counting all the big numbers right off the bat. And once the loyal ones came through, the stragglers, they're just not scrolling down and clicking on that vote, or maybe they're not listening on Spotify because,
Ooh.
in all fairness, that poll and that question only shows up on Spotify. So, do you think that it's possible that the other, we don't have, I guess we had like 30 something or 40 something % of our people that were not on Spotify, so it's very possible that I guess a majority of the audience isn't hearing the question.
Yeah, that could be true. Then maybe they're not able to answer. And maybe, do you think we need to have an answer section in our Discord?
Yeah, maybe we should. Maybe we should create a channel for the question of the week and specify that it's for people not on Spotify.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, let's do that, because, everyone else deserves to answer too. Even if you are a Google Podcast goofball.
Which technically is not Google Podcast anymore. It's all moved on to YouTube.
Oh, yeah, that's true, which, you've only asked me about 72 times to send all the things to you to upload the YouTube, so maybe I'm going to bring my laptop to work tomorrow and do that.
That's okay. But here we go. The question was, what crossover orc / collaboration / cosmetic would you like to see added? And first up, Matt, who do we have?
Hail Hydra.
That's right. We got Hail Hydra. And Matt, just looking at this list of people that answered, we have some, true people that do always answer. But I want you to see if you remember / think about the people who were missing. We're actually missing some people who normally comment all the time. So I just want you to think once I say these names and answer the question, and maybe some people you think that were missing that answer all the time.
Oh boy, here we go. Okay, you're asking me to remember things. That was your first mistake.
Yeah. So we got Hail Hydra. He goes, my 3 favorite Ark animals are the direwolf, griffin, and megalodon. Okay. I swear, who said griffin, me or you?
You did, because I said wyvern.
Okay, that's what I thought. And nobody said direwolf and megalodon, I don't think.
I should have known direwolf. I knew he was a man of culture.
Yeah. And it appears I have a new rival, and his name is Drew. Finally, a worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary. Hi, Jericho. Let's go, Hail Hydra.
That's funny. That's too funny.
And then Dad of Twins. Oh, this is great. This paid message brought to you by Drew. I agree with Matt. I would love to see some more fantasy-style things brought in as cosmetics.
This message brought to you by Drew. Stop slipping 20s, man.
Then next up, we got Micah. He goes, I agree with Drew. Something fantasy-ish would be an excellent addition. And then he goes in little quotations, I'm not paid to say this.
That's fair. Okay. Well, you're missing out, man, because he's slipping 20s, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. Zephyr, man, this man's been killing it also on the comments. I really want to see a Monster Hunter crossover. They can add cosmetics for your armor and weapons and monsters as new creatures. Or if they don't want to do that, they can add monster skins for dinos. I think that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
From what I've seen of Monster Hunter, some of those things actually look pretty cool. So I wouldn't mind some of those dinos coming in.
Yeah, I haven't played too much of it either, but from what I have played of it, it's got a lot of that high fantasy feel that I was asking for, so I think it would be a pretty cool. And it should be a relatively easy one. Like you said, there's a lot of dino-like creatures that would have a pretty easy crossover, I feel like.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And next up, we got Joe. Man, all these people have been killing it. All these people that are answering have been killing it lately, and I appreciate you all. You guys have continued to answer. So shout out to you all. Joe says, I don't know if anyone watched it.
Legends.
But there was certainly a cartoon early 2000s. I feel like you know this, so you know. Not because I'm not saying you're old. I'm just saying I think you know this one, okay?
10-4 shots fired. I'm from the 1900s, in case you guys were wondering.
There was a cartoon early 2000 called Extreme Dinosaurs. It was one of my favorites, and some cosmetics to make them look like those guys. Here's my wallet. Take my money.
Extreme Dinosaurs. I don't remember Extreme Dinosaurs, but I remember Dino Squad. I don't know if they're the same thing or not, but I don't remember Extreme Dinos, but I remember Dino Squad, which was like Power Ranger Animorphs, but in dinosaurs instead.
Dinos. I didn't watch Extreme Dinosaurs either. Granted, it was 1997. Yeah, I'm looking this up. I have no idea what this is, but I mean, there's like a T-Rex thing with a little gun on its back, and I mean, be kind of cool.
All right, let me look, because now I'm almost positive I know what you're talking about after you said that. Taking a bold chance here of looking up anything. Oh yeah, okay. Yes. First off, yes, I am that old, and second off, yes, I think that would be a great idea. I'm all for it, dude. That would make so many different like tech creatures or additions to tech. I think it would be super awesome. Could you imagine a battle where there's 4 people riding in on mammoths with Gatling guns and T-Rexes with like cannons on its back, and just crazy? You could do so many different things with that type of mix-up.
Yeah, that'd be pretty. I don't know. I just would like to see all those unique things that it looks like, at least from what I've seen on the thing here. I'd like to see Ark and just.
Yeah, absolutely. For the record, I know there's not a mammoth in Extreme Dinos. It was just a poor example.
Next up, we got Blaze. Definitely either the Pokemon one y'all talked about, or even like a Harry Potter or Avatar: The Last Airbender collaboration.
Dude, okay. Yeah, you got me. Because imagine a Harry Potter crossover where you could have a Pteranodon skinned out as a broom. So you're just flying around on your broomstick with the Pteranodon spin move and stuff like that. Oh my god, that would be so fun.
That would actually be extremely crazy. Or you're riding Appa from Avatar.
Dude, yeah, I love Avid. There's somebody that, because I work in real estate now, and there is somebody who lives at one of the properties that I work at with an Avatar-themed license plate, and I genuinely appreciate them.
And then Zap goes, I'd like to see Alien versus Predator. Sorry to cut you off.
No, please do. So, Alien versus Predator, that was a memory that I had locked away that I totally forgot existed, and that would be pretty cool.
Gotta be. I mean, it's gotta be. I mean, honestly, I remember watching this even as a little kid and thinking it was like one of the.
Oh, absolutely. The aliens, they're pretty much in there. I forget what are they called? They've got like the little defense unit things with the creepy scorpion tails. Like they're pretty much in. Gosh, I can't remember which map it is. What's the one that's in like the deserted city where there's like the corrupted nodes outside and you can like go to the element veins?
Oh, Extinction.
Extinction, thank you. Gosh, that name escaped me for some reason. Yeah, I know they're on that map, so they could port that in pretty easy. As far as I'm trying to think of Predator. What do you think would be a good thing to port for a Predator?
I don't know. No, not a Magmexer. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be interesting. That's food for thought.
Definitely. And then Jude goes, do they already have Western gun skins? If not, that's what I want. And what happened to resisting paid cosmetics?
Okay, you know what, Jude? You caught me there. So, it's tough. There's so many layers here. So, yes, I think there is a Western gun one. I want to say Bob's Tales might have one, and then there was some other gun cosmetic skin that I know I saw a 6-shooter recently. So, Western guns would be a thing for sure. And as far as what happened to resisting the skins and paid cosmetics, I am against the nature of microtransactions. I think that they are a plague for the gaming community, but unfortunately, it is the direction that the community is going. There has been, this can be a whole episode too, but there's, long story short, Jude, you don't even own online games anymore. If you purchase a game via the marketplace and you have a digital copy of it, it is literally just a license to use, and it can be revoked by the license issuer, which is the game developer at any point in time. So you don't even own the games that you pay for anymore. So if I'm not even going to own the game that I pay for, I can at least own a skin, I guess. I don't know, man. I feel defeated at this point. I can't do anything about it, and they're not going away. So I figure if it's not going away, I might as well embrace the ones that at least make me feel happy.
And honestly, I'm never going to buy one. I don't have enough money to buy one. Talk to me when I have some money, and then I guess we'll see.
Yeah, let me get that forget you money, and then I'll buy stuff.
Next up, we got KU1U saying Monster Hunter. We kind of already went over that. And then next up, we also have Drew. We have Drew with Monster Hunter also.
Okay, I see a trend.
Yeah, me too. So, we went a lot. Monster Hunter definitely was the answer. And then I quickly want to go over the poll after this. But one thing I do want to do is a little quiz, Matt. Do you remember who didn't answer?
It was Gabriel.
That is one of the two people, yes.
And it was Hop.
Actually, there's 3 people. Oh,
yeah.
You are correct. You're 2 for 2 here.
Because you son of a gun, I didn't think of that one.
No, I thought of Hop for sure, but there was someone else I didn't think of. Well, just now. So who? This one? I think you'll get this one.
I'm trying to think here. It's gonna. Huh. Yeah.
Will.
Oh, how could I forget? Oh my! See, I knew it as soon as I heard it. Gee whiz. What's going on, guys? You all right? Everything okay?
Yeah, I know, man. They're missing this week here. Granted, I didn't put out a little reminder to answer, so I'll maybe take part of the blame here.
I think they're just too jazzed up for America's birthday.
Yeah, that's what it must be.
It's gotta be. Yeah, they got fireworks on their mind. Especially Gabriel. Kidding.
Yeah.
Yes, especially Gabriel though.
We definitely we miss you guys. You guys answer next week if you can, anyways. For this week.
Yeah, answer the next one.
And then the last thing I want to talk about was the poll, just because we had to, because we know Drew likes to slip people 20s. And 2% of people say yes. Or well, the question was, sorry. Drew paid you to vote for him, didn't he? 15% said yes. Coming in at second is 38.5% for saying I signed an NDA. I'm sorry. And then the highest percentage at 46% is no, Drew did not pay them.
You know what? And he paid you to say that too, I bet.
Yep. That's the only explanation here.
That's funny. All right. Well, all right. I appreciate you guys humoring me.
Yeah. But other than that, Matt, it's been fun. I guess it still wasn't that short. We always say that, and then it ends up being the normal time at this point, right?
I told you. I told you I was going to ramble about Aberration for about 20 minutes, and that's darn near exactly what I did.
But other than that, thank you guys. You guys have honestly, for everyone that's been watching, like, just looking at our, stats, like 70-80% of people are watching until the very end. So maybe that means we're doing something right, Matt. I don't know.
Let's go.
But other than that, thank you guys. Make sure you guys go join our Discord if you haven't, because we're about 80 members away from 200. Make sure you guys are adding the Wildcard Social people, because we want to get on the community crunch. But other than that, thank you guys for listening to this whole episode.
Yeah, you guys are the real MVPs. I thank you very much for your time, and we will see you guys next week.